I'm Sister Mary Agnes Cornelio, and originally I'm from Italy, and New York was my last home before I entered. And now I'm Bostonian. I entered the convent in 1951. Sister Mary Timothy, my sister who entered before me, she met the sisters, and through her I became acquainted with the daughters, and that's the first time I started thinking about religious life. Yeah, for my parents, my mother, she didn't think I had a vocation, and so she made it very hard for me. And she told me before I enter, I will make a novitiate with her. And then I can make another novitiate in the convent. Because she didn't believe I had a vocation. She believed my sister, Sister Mary Timothy, but not me. Because I was too outgoing and like to have fun and climb mountains and doing all kinds of crazy things, you know, young people do. Well, I was 15 years old when I started thinking, you know, really about religious life. And that's because I met the founder, Primo Maestro and Prima Maestra. And my sister Timothy, Sister Mary Timothy, was a postulant at the time, and she introduced me to Primo Maestro and Prima Maestra in Staten Island. I went to stay there for a week as a, you know, visiting. And she introduced me to the founder and foundress. And she said very simply to Primo Maestro, she says, Primo Maestro, tell my sister to become a religious. And of course, Primo Maestro looks at me, and he has this big grin on his face, and he says, well, he says, I'm not God that I can tell you to become a sister. But then it kind of, you know, got a little more serious and says, well, but how many children are you? I said, oh, we're eight children, I said. And Primo Maestro said, oh, then there are enough for God and for the world. As of that moment, that's when I started thinking about my vocation. Up until then, I was thinking family life more than anything else. I had names of children and all those things. That's all I knew, that's all I could think of, you know. Well, the thing that impressed me the most, that made me really decide, was the beautiful spirit of the Daughters of St. Paul, the joy in performing the apostolate. I would see them every morning prepare their bags and going out with such joy and happiness, and I just felt like I want to be part of it. I want a piece of the pie that they had. And also the spirit of prayer. I loved the practices of piety, and one of the things that impressed me the most was at night we would say the night prayers outside in Staten Island while I was there in those 17 days I stayed with them. And we would say night prayers outside, and it was dark already. And after that, it was silence, and we would go to bed, and we would say the chaplet to the Blessed Mother. Virgin Mary, Mother of Jesus, make us saints. And that impressed me so much that when I went back home again, I started saying that chaplet every single day. And as of today, I still say the chaplet on my own. That impressed me. And I love the idea of the prayer, the hour of adoration especially. That was always my favorite part. I think it's a beautiful thing to make an act of faith and try, give it a chance. And if it is your vocation, God will give you the grace and to be happy and to be serene and to do a lot of good. And if it isn't, there's nothing wrong. It takes years before we become full members of the order. And so there's nothing wrong in trying and not making it. at least later on we can say I should have been a sister and I didn't. So I give credit to anybody who tries. I had doubts whether I could really persevere in religious life, but I never doubt that I was called.